I grab my bag after I'm done with toweling off, stuffing it quickly inside so I can head out. I got so focused on my own training that I didn't even notice everyone else leaving around me. It wasn't until Saya-chan tapped me on the shoulder and told me that everyone else had left for home, and she and Coach were about to do the same, that I realized it was time to leave. Hey look, he's finally taking his training seriously. When I got to the locker room, true to her word, the whole place was a complete ghost town. Out of curiosity, I decided to take a quick peek around the divided wall of lockers, wanting to see if any of the volleyball team's side was deserted as ours. And yep, not a soul. Geez, this sort of stuff doesn't usually happen to me anymore. I hadn't hyper-focused like this in years, see what I mean? I guess I needed a way to work out my recent frustrations, and tennis was a good outlet. Good to know, I suppose. Oh fuck, is that like a basketball hitting the floor? With my curiosity sated, I turned around to head out when I hear a loud sound echo from the volleyball team's court. I look back again, curious about it. The door to their gym is closed, so I thought there wouldn't be anyone there. Did somebody sneak in or something? The goblins in my head get it at right anyway. Before long, this curiosity becomes unbearable. You're gonna need to work on that, Yuichi. Sooner or later, you're probably gonna walk into somewhere you really don't want to be. I slowly sneak toward the door, trying to open it as quietly as I can to... Wait, who am I kidding? If there's somebody staying this late after practice, it'd be Shuichi, right? With that realization fresh in my head, I swing the door open, fully preparing myself to greet Shuichi and maybe ask him why he's staying so late. At least we can walk home together. Well, that's what I think. Hey! Haruki finally wearing his uniform for us. I mean, he did last time, but he was shirtless, so... I see Haruki, the white wolf that I keep seemingly bumping into all the time alone in the court. Oh shit. He has court half full, with balls next to him that he reaches for, grabbing one and promptly doing a jump serve. It isn't too disfamiliar from a scene but I've seen many times over and over the years with Shuichi. Seriously, how many times did I catch Shuichi staying late to practice his serves? Even in high school alone, it's so many that I've lost count. Still, this guy is the last person I expected to find here. Well, he's probably practicing too. You never know, volleyball is probably a hard sport. From Shuichi's descriptions of him, he didn't exactly strike me as the diligent sort, so him staying late after practice to do stuff on his own is genuinely surprising me. Wait, no, you're falling into the same trap again, Yuichi. Stop assuming things about the guy that you don't know based on gossip and the likes. How many times do I have reality smack me onto the face before I learn to stop judging people? I decided to try and sneak away, but it seems I spent 2 long days. The wolf's eyes finally fall upon me, and that's when I know I'm done for. I expect screaming, I expect anger, I expect a repeat of the exact same interaction we seem to have every time we run into each other. But instead, seriously, again, why are you here? That's more reasonable of an reaction than I was expecting. I mean, sure, that was a very, very loud drawn sigh, but it's better than screaming. Sorry, it's pretty late, so I assumed if someone was going to be here at this hour to practice, that it would be Shuichi. Nah, he didn't come today. Oh. Don't look so disappointed. Sorry I'm not your precious little boyfriend. What? Shuichi's not my... It's not like that. If you say so. Yes, I do say so, alright? So stop that. Why do you keep saying that? That's such a weird thing to say. Please tell me you didn't actually ask me that. Why? Because if you turned out to be a fucking moron in addition to clearly blind, I would have started feeling bad for insulting you. I draw a line at mocking the disabled. Seriously? You draw that line? What's that supposed to mean? Of course I do. Then stop saying crap about me and Shuichi every time. It's starting to seriously get on my nerves. Not my fault you're too dumb to see the way that guy is obviously in love with you. It's like a puppy following you around. It's disgusting. Dude, seriously, stop. I've been trying to be patient with you and I've been ignoring all the shit you say about me, but I won't tolerate you talking crap about my friends. Haruki rolls his eyes at me, putting a finger in his mouth and pretending to gag. God, you two are so similar it's disgusting. The other dog said the exact same thing to me. Almost the exact same words. Why are you always such an asshole? It made more sense to me when I thought that this was all you were, but now I know you're not incapable of being nice. I don't get why you got around being a huge douche to everyone. The fuck are you talking about? The park, the way you talked with your little brother, you were super nice and gentle with him. Why can't you act like even a little bit like that to other people? Well, it is his brother, Yuichi. Family comes first. As soon as I mentioned the... Sounds like he missed his shot. As soon as I mention the park, the wolf's expression morphs into one of shock and horror. He drops the ball he'd been holding in his hands, letting it fall to the ground and bounce uselessly a few times before rolling off to the side. The wolf turns very slowly and mechanically towards me, almost as if he couldn't really quite understand what he was hearing. The par... Are you daft or what? Don't you fucking remember what I told you? Don't mention that shit, you fuckwad. And now we're at the place I expected us to start, with the wolf growling and baring his teeth at me. Honestly, I'd laugh if it weren't so sad at how predictable this was. Why not? You're obviously capable of not being a shitty person, so why are you so awful to everyone? You have no idea what you saw. Stop assuming shit. Really? No idea? I'm pretty sure, considering the fact that you two look almost identical and that he called you Ni-chan, that little boy was your younger brother. I'm also pretty sure that what I saw was you being a nice, caring older brother. Like, you know, a person. Fuck off, drop this shit already. Why? What's wrong with admitting that you're not a completely awful person? So you're a nice older brother that is loved by his younger brother. So what, shouldn't that be a good thing? I said drop it. Are you deaf too? If you keep saying shit like that, I'm gonna fuck you up. I don't know, he's just the same. But I'm hoping that we can get past that. Fine, I don't get why this is such an issue. What's wrong with admitting that you're not a completely awful person? Sheesh. I don't owe you an explanation. Clearly, you've made that pretty clear by now, multiple times in fact. I honestly don't know why I'm still trying. It's like every time he gives me an inkling of a reason to believe that he might actually be a decent person beneath all his anger and insults and whatnot, he immediately turns it back around and doubles down on it. This is all... God, it's just exhausting. How does anybody deal with this? How does that Kiga guy deal with this? I'm completely serious here. How does this guy have any friends? So what? Why are you here? In fact, how are you here? I remember Shoichi making a point of how his coach only allows him to keep the keys after practice because he's responsible and he can be trusted not to break anything, clean things up and lock up after he's done. Considering how little you get along with your coach, I cannot imagine that any of those things being true for you. For fuck's sake, why are you still here? Why aren't you answering the We made an agreement. An agreement? I promised I'd keep my head down and not cause trouble if he'd let me stay after practice for a bit. I can get more stuff done on my own. There's no one else for me to mind, and no one around to look down on me or talk shit about me. What? Talk shit about you? There's no way someone on this team would do that. Oh really? Because you clearly know so much about the volleyball team. Spend a lot of time around them, don't you? No, but I know this is Shoichi's team. Shoichi would never allow his teammates to talk shit about one another. He cares about teamwork and always does his best to make sure people are getting along. Yeah, right. Have you ever seen them do anything like that? Do they actually talk shit about you or look down on you? I've never seen them doing it, no, but I don't need proof. I know they do it behind my back. How can you possibly know that? Are you telepathic or something? Of course not. Don't be a moron. It's not like that. Of course they do it. Everyone looks down on me. Huh? Well, what's with his face? I've never seen him make a face like that before. Is he sad? Wait, what's going on? Did I say something I shouldn't have? Or is that a flicker of vulnerability? I know I shouldn't be surprised by it. Of course this guy is also capable of being vulnerable, but I never thought I'd see it. That's not... Just forget about it, okay? It doesn't matter. But you Just leave. Please leave. Did he just say please? As in he asked me to please leave? Not get out of here, you fuckstick, or leave, dickwad, or fuck off. It was please leave. Holy shit. Why the fuck are you staring at me? But by the way, I just realized if your coach is letting you stick around, then does that mean that everything's been smoothed off after the instant? You know, when you got kicked out of practice a few days ago, I can barely see the bruises anymore. They seem to be healing well. Is everything okay with... Fucking leave! Oh shit, you pissed him off. The wolf finally runs out of patience, snapping and rushing towards my direction. I tried to struggle and protest, but he quickly grabs me by the shoulders and starts pushing me. Nice talking to you, Haruki. Very soon after that, I'm shoved forcibly out the door, only to turn around and attempt to say something to have it slammed in my face. Son of a bitch. He even locked the door behind me. Wow, just wow. I take it back. I don't care how vulnerable you were in front of me just now. You, sir, are a prick. And I know he's a prick, so why do I even try? I keep doing the same thing over and over and over and then get surprised and annoyed by the same results. There must be something wrong with my brain, that's the only explanation. Get a grip, Yuichi, you're better than this. And yet, I do still wonder. Of course everybody looks down on me. Everyone does. He looked so sad when he said that. I know he mentioned that before, that everyone thinks of him as a bad guy and a thug, but... is this really eating him up that much? Was that an actual moment of vulnerability? It feels like I was allowed in a second glimpse of something he usually keeps locked in tight, before he realizes he's dropped his guard and pushed me out again. What am I even hoping to get here? Why do I care so much? Why does the image of that sad face of him refuse to leave my head? Damn it. Friday! Oh, it's Friday. And this is the last heart. How could this possibly go wrong? I woke up 10 minutes early again. Ha 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 ha. Very last heart. Go! Oh, now we're back where it started. Man, what the hell was that chemistry lesson supposed to be? We had so many chemical formulas thrown at us to memorize that my eyes are spinning. How do chemists manage to learn all this stuff? And how do they not get bored doing it? Almost feels like it's the most uninteresting stuff in the world. As soon as the bell rang and we were excused from class, I made a beeline straight here. And let me guess, someone else had that idea too. Feels like the only place where I can relax right now. If I go to the tennis club, I know I'll be subjected to one of Saya-chan's super special Spartan practice. I've named it the SSSP for short. I just want to take a nap right now. I drag my feet towards my usual spot, finally looking up from the ground to notice the now all too familiar figure of a white wolf standing near my usual spot, his fingers interlocked with the fence's chain links. You've got to be kidding me, right? Again? How does this keep happening? This town isn't that small. He seems distracted. I'm just gonna take this opportunity to slip away before he notices me. I am going to... For fuck's sake, just leave it alone, Yuichi. He looks upset. You can't help but want to help him. Cupping my face in both my hands, I cradle my head and sigh internally. Once I realize that I can't bring myself to do that. I complain about him being an unlikable and a jerk, but I keep doing this to myself over and over and over. What is wrong with me? Hey there, guess we meet again, huh? I slowly approach the wolf, not wanting to spook him and give him a cause to get angry again. Huh? Hi, you okay? The wolf reactions lags behind for a bit. It is several seconds after his greeting that he finally looks at me. His eyes, however, remained unfocused and distracted, like he's looking through me and not seeing me. Are you okay? I'm fine. Wow, wow. The wolf's response comes out automatically, almost like it's a practice reflex. No matter how I look at it, he doesn't seem fine at all. Are you sure? You seem pretty out of it. It's fine. Ugh, again? Why are you here? Oh, so he was, like, not focusing at all. Huh? Did he just snap out of his daze just now? It seems like he finally recognized me and reacted accordingly, groaning in annoyance and rubbing off the bridge of his nose. I almost want to go back to before he did. This is my usual spot, remember? We've been through this before. I'm a senior, and I've been coming here to relax and cloud days since I was a freshman. That means this is my place. This has been my place longer. I'm well aware of how childish and pathetic of an argument that is, but the moment the guy flipped into his usual annoying mode, it made me get defensive and won't dig my heels into the ground. Yes, I know it's immature of me, but I don't care. Whatever. Huh? Whatever, that's it. No arguing, no name calling. You're just gonna let it slide completely? Who are you? I'm still not leaving. I don't care what you say. I never said you had to leave. All I did was ask if you're okay. Why do you care so much? What do you mean? You keep asking me that over and over. Do you have any idea how annoying that is? Gee man, sorry I annoyed you by showing basic human decency and concern. My bad. It's not that, you dipshit. It's the fact that you're everywhere. Every time I look around, you're somehow there. At the school, in the streets, at the park. How are you everywhere? That's so incredibly gross. Maybe it's the universe telling us that we need to be together. No, I'm joking. And honestly, I've been asking myself the same thing. I have no idea how this keeps happening. But so what? It bothers me just as much as it bothers you. It's not like I want to keep looking for your sour face any more than I have to. It's not my fault that we keep running into each other. Are you sure you're not stalking me or something? Please, why would I be so why would I be so interested in you so much to the point of stalking you? You're nowhere near pretty enough for it, and it sure as hell wouldn't be because of your sparkling personality. Wow, those are some big words, and he definitely does have the looks for it. What? You? Uh-oh. The words slipped out of before I had the chance to rein them back in. Before I realized, I snapped at him. This is it. I just signed my death certificate, haven't I? You've got some lip on you. What? Did he just laugh? Why? Why is that the thing that gets a positive reaction from him? God, this guy's so confusing. I'll take the web for now, and will refrain from prodding and asking about it though. Pretty sure my downfall the last few times had been from me insisting on stuff where he responded badly to it the first time. Let's see, how do I make small talk with this guy? What's someone else I can talk about? So, you sure you're okay, by the way? It looks like you answered me on full automatic earlier. As soon as I ask, Haruki's expression clouds once again, and he looks away. I'm almost certain that I made a mistake in asking, but as the wolf opens his mouth, it is as if he was about to say something, only to close it again. He does that a few more times, leaving the silence hanging over us like a shroud. My dad's sentence got extended. The words make my eyes go wide and leave me dumbstruck. Of all the things I thought he might say or do, I definitely didn't expect him to blurt out that. Your dad, Oh please, don't bother playing dumb. I know the dog must have told you about it by now. It's been priority one gossip since it happened. I feel so bad for him. Like, why do people do that? The pointedness of his words make me recoil, looking down at my feet in shame. Haruki takes my silence as an admission of guilt, groaning and shaking his head. Figures. Is that a bad thing? That he told you? Nah, I don't care. No, I mean, is it a bad thing about your dad? From what I've heard, he sounded like a real asshole. So shouldn't that be good news? You're a real piece of work, aren't you? What do you mean? Say something like that about someone else's father, especially someone you barely know. Either you have balls, or you have no tact. I was just basing myself on what I heard. Sorry if I'm wrong. Nah, you're right on the money. The guy's a piece of shit. I hope he rots in hell. Then why do you have that look on your face when I first saw you? What look? You looked like there was something eating away at you. This is nice. This is the last art, but I'm really liking this now because he seems to be, more open. Like he's not insulting Yuichi as much as he does usually. Haruki clicks his tongue, looking away once again. I follow his gaze, noticing that he's been watching the other students walking around campus down on the ground floor. We both stand in silence, me waiting for him to speak and him watching. It's a good thing that he's in jail. It's exactly where he deserves to be. I'm sensing there's a but there. But if he's in jail, he can't pay back the debts he racked up. I've already been getting harassed over it when he was expected to be released by the end of the year. Now, if he gets out, it'll only get worse. Hearing his words, something finally clicks in my head, making my eyes go wide in realization. I recall the scene I saw around about a week ago when I found Haruki getting roughed up by a shady-looking guy in the alley. Part of me thought that there was just some truth to the rumor Shuichi told me about, that maybe Haruki is the type of person to go around getting into fights. But so that guy in the alley... The wolf looks away, avoiding my gaze, as if it were burning him. After a few seconds of silence, he finally nods. One of Dad's dear friends, I'm sure. He ambushed me on my way to the store and demanded that Mom and I find a way to pay him back. What? That's horrible! Why the hell didn't you fight back? When I came across you two, you were letting him pin you to the wall and rough you up without saying a word. Couldn't you have taken him? Are you kidding me right now? The wolf's expression darkens right away, his glare piercing me like a knife. I don't know what I've done to anger him this time, but I instinctively take a step back. See, that's why I didn't fight back. Huh? What did you... Now and that day too. You walked into me being attacked by someone, doing nothing to defend myself, and you still looked at me like it was somehow my fault. I asked you a question just now, and that was enough to make you back away from me. I'm not stupid. I know how it would look if I tried to defend myself. No one would believe me that I didn't start it. It's always like that. Everything would become my fault somehow, and then I'd end up in jail too. Just like my piece of shit dad. You mean... The moment Haruki's words sink in, the horror of it finally hits me. He's not wrong. I did wonder to myself if he had done something to start the fight. When he's gotten into trouble with his coach, I wondered what he'd done that made him get punished. And I did back away from him just now. All because of what? He looked at me funny? He got attacked out of nowhere over something that had absolutely nothing to do with him. And it isn't his fault. He preferred to let himself be beaten up and risk trying to defend himself. Because he knew what would happen if he did. I'm sure that me stumbling into the scene was only the reason he decided to try and do something. Maybe because there would be a witness who would vouch for him that it wasn't his fault at all. And yet I wouldn't have been able to do even that much, because I still thought he was somehow at fault for it. Is that what you meant when people said they only see what they want to see? Oh fuck. The wolf's eyes snap towards me, scanning my face for something that I cannot quite put my finger on. That's when he laughs. A dark, hollow, fake laugh that sends a shiver down my spine and all the way down to the tip of my toes. Ha 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 ha. Aren't you a sharp one? Do you get it now? Tell me, what did you see? What? When you saw me getting beaten up in that dark alley, what did you see? Was it an innocent person getting beaten up? Or did you see some piece of shit loser delinquent getting what he deserved? Haruki's words cut me down, leaving me with nothing to stand on, no words or self-assurances that I can hold onto to tell myself that I made the right judgment at that moment. I didn't... You didn't? Ha! You're hilarious. Don't think I'm stupid. I saw it. I saw that exact same look on your face that everyone else has. Those exact eyes. You still look at me like that, like I was a delinquent, a troublemaker, a thug. Like I'm some kind of rabid dog that might bite at any second and that needs to be put down. But it's whatever, right? People just love to have something to hold over others. Gotta have some self-righteous reason to use as an excuse so you can look down at other people as much as you want. I take another step back, slowly shaking my head as the full realization of horror hits me all at once, finally brought back by his words. Oh shit. Stop looking at me like that. How could I have been so wrong? Why the fuck are you looking at me like that? He's mentioned it before. Have I had it wrong this whole time? From the very beginning? Is that why he's been so angry at me? When he and I talked on the rooftop the first time, he was still unpleasant, but nowhere near as bad as angry as he's been lately. I didn't even think about it. It wasn't his attitude towards me that changed. It was mine that did. So, has everything he said to me so far, all the times he snapped, balked, and got angry at me, have they all been reactions to my own attitude? I'm so sorry. I don't give a fuck. Your apology means nothing to me. What? But people will always be like that. There's nothing I can do about it. So I stopped caring years ago. I can't change the people's opinions about me. So there's no point in even bothering. I don't need anyone anyway. I cannot think of anything worse than having an annoying person hanging around me all the time being clingy and shit. I'm fine on my own. What? How can you even say that? That's not fine at all. That's just incredibly depressing. Besides, there's something about what he just said that the words are there and he certainly acted like he meant it, but his voice sounded hollow when he said it. Like he said it so many times that the words started to lose their meaning. Almost like he's trying to convince himself. In that case, and if that's true, then is that saber cat friend of yours? Kiga, was it? Is he just an annoying person? Oh shit. That For the first time, it seems like my words managed to finally find some gap in the wolf's armor. That kind of shock can't be faked after all. The wolf's mouth opens and closes several times, kind of like a fish. Kiga is... He annoyed me into submission, that's all. Letting him stick around is less of a hassle than shooing him away every time. Is that really it? Because if what you said is true, then there is nothing worse than someone sticking by you and acting all clingy and shit. Then there's no way you had let him stick around just because he wore you down. Besides, Kiga told me that you agreed to help him run his lines so that he could have an easier time rehearsing. He did? Yes, and if you really hated his presence that much, then there's no way you'd have agreed to do something like that for him. Especially something you seem to find so demanding and embarrassing. I didn't. And you should have seen the way the guy talked about you. The moment you left, his main concern was to apologize and start telling me how deep down you're such a great guy. Because he apparently hated the idea of a total stranger having a wrong impression of you. You clearly must have done something to earn that kind of appreciation, right? Even as I'm saying these words, I feel anger rising up inside of me. Not at Haruki or Kiga or even the situation, but at myself. I should have listened to my own words. Kiga went so far to try and make sure that I didn't think badly of Haruki. There's no way he'd have gone that far for somebody that isn't completely irredeemable. It was so laughably obvious that I can't help but feel angry at myself for being immediately dismissive of the saber cat's words. That doesn't fucking matter. God, shut up already. Fucking hell. You're so fucking annoying. This is why talking to you is so damn frustrating. You say that, but you haven't asked me to leave. Sure, you've snapped at me plenty and called me names, but you keep putting up with me and responding to what I say. It's almost like if you actually care what I think. If you didn't, you'd either have told me to leave or you'd have left yourself. But we're still here, aren't we? For all your barking and complaining, you keep engaging with me. If my presence really were that much of a bother to you, you wouldn't even have begun to talk to me. You'd have turned around and leave as soon as you noticed me, or you'd ignore me and waited for me to go away. But you never do you? No matter how unpleasant your words may be, you always talk to me when we meet. Why? What are you hoping to get from it? You wouldn't do it if there wasn't something. That means nothing. You say that, but you're not actually denying it. If I had bothered to think about it for 2 seconds, I would have noticed it right away. A person hates dealing with other people as much as he claims that he would never be bothered to in the first place. The fact that he does this is probably proof of that. On some level, he does seem to want to. And the fact that he's not denying it only makes me more certain that I'm right. He's like a beaten dog, being suspicious of everyone around him and snapping at everyone that comes close. But dogs only do it because they're afraid. Because they've been hurt so many times before, because they're afraid of being hurt again. It's the same for you, right? That you've been doing this the whole time. Of course, there's no way I'd risk saying that out loud. We'd have struck some kind of balance where he's tolerating me now despite me going way overboard and pushing him far more than I've ever done before. But I'm sure if I call him a beaten dog, he would probably punch me. There's a limit to everything after all. Look, for what it's worth, I'm really sorry. Huh? There's no excuse for it. You're absolutely right. I really did think of you as a troublemaker. I really did believe that you had done something to deserve the crap that had happened to you. I did look at you in that way. I did judge you. But knowing what I know now, it took me a while to realize it, but I really think that Kigo was right. He told me that you were a good guy deep inside. I didn't believe him at first, but after seeing how your little brother seems to adore you, as well as hearing what you had to say to me now, yeah, I have to accept that I might have been wrong about you. Maybe deep down, but yeah, I think the saber cat may have had a point about you. Haruki stares at me in complete silence, his mouth hanging wide open. He finally looks away, rubbing the bridge of his nose and groaning in frustration. He sure loves to groan, doesn't he? You are a frustrating person, do you know that? So annoying. You're not the first person I hear that from, yeah? In fact, there was a certain someone many years ago that used to call me both those things at the same time. Huh? Who? I let my laughter serve as an answer, crossing my arms as I reminisce about it. I suppose that I'm looking at him from a different point of view. That Haruki isn't all that different from how Shoichi used to be back when we met. Sure, he's way older and bigger, and the horrible attitude was a lot more endearing and tolerable on a 6-year-old than on a, I'm assuming, 17. But I cannot deny that the similarities are pretty striking. Maybe that's why Shoichi seems to have such a trouble dealing with Haruki. Looking at this guy is like staring straight into the past. You know, if you were a bit more open about your situation, and while tone down your attitude a lot, I'm sure you'd be able to make friends. At the very least, people wouldn't be as judgy. Oh really, and why the fuck would I want that? Because having people is better than being alone. I'm sure you'd understand that on some level, right? After all, you have at least one friend. Would it really be that bad? Sounds like a hassle. I have no interest in being friends with someone that can be weak and pathetic, that I have to coddle them all the time. If people can't deal with me as I am, then what's the point? That's not what I was suggesting. It may as well be. Tone down my attitude? Don't make me laugh. I'm not going to change myself for anything or anyone. If someone can't accept that, then they're not worth my time. That is true. That sounds so sad. I don't know why, but the first thing that hits me when I hear the words is sadness. Isn't that lonely? But if I try to push, he's probably going to push back even harder, isn't he? If I've gathered anything about him so far is that he's incredibly stubborn. And if that's the case, yeah, I guess my mind's already made. Okay? Okay, if that's the case, then I'll be your friend. I'll accept you for who you are, and I won't try to change you. Haruki's eyes fly open, bulging out wider than I've seen them before. He sputters multiple times, making a few pathetic, confused noises that I would say are borderline cute. But at the very least, I have to really hold back the urge to laugh. Why the fuck would you do that? If you won't try, then I'll do it for you. I'll put in the effort into a friendship for you. Now you can say that you have 2 friends. That's double the amount of friends. Isn't that nice? Ugh, this is exhausting. I have no idea how to deal with you. What the fuck's your angle? You have nothing to gain by involving yourself with someone like me. It's not like my problems are any of your concern. I'll gain a friend. I never said they were. I just said I'm gonna be a friend. The rest doesn't really matter to me. I don't need you to be my friend. I chuckle, finally losing my battle against the laughter I've been suppressing the whole time. That only makes the wolf's nostrils flare even more. What the fuck are you laughing at? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll change your mind eventually. I have it on good authority that I can be very persuasive when I want to. For fuck's sake! This whole time the wolf groans. I somehow to find the gesture endearing instead of irritating. Is that what a change of perspective can do? I'm sure you'll appreciate having me around eventually. Is there a mute button on you somewhere? For the next hour I continue to annoy Haruki much in the same way, insisting on talking to him despite his many protests and insults. Despite all the bravado, the wolf doesn't make one move to leave at any moment. In fact, I think I catch his tail wagging a few times. Aww, that's so cute. So now it's day 13, so all of the hearts of Haruki have now been filled out, which means we're now locked into his route now. So fuck yeah, that's exactly what I want. I anxiously fiddle with my phone, looking over my shoulder every now and again for a familiar figure that I'm sure hasn't left the gym building. Trying to sneak under Saya-chan's watchful eye and skip one practice was, of course, a bust. I got caught pathetically easily and was forced to take part in practice. What's worse is Saya-chan even put me in charge of overseeing some of the freshmen, like I'm some kind of coach or something. I mean, if you're the vice captain, you should be able to contribute something. I mean, sure, it's not a hard job, noticing people's forms, seeing what they're good at, what they lack, giving them advice based on it. It's all pretty basic stuff. I learned to pick up on it years ago just from tweaking my own training regimens. But that's not the point. I don't know what's had her in such a mood lately, but I'm starting to get really tired of it. The number one thought on my head for the last few days is I want to buy her a stress ball or a punching bag. One or the other, not sure which one would be more well received. Either way, they would hopefully do the job in getting her to chill out a little. Either that or get her to kill me, so, you know, let's stay optimistic. Yep, at least. In the meantime, I continue to look for a certain someone that, up until now, has done an annoyingly good job of avoiding me. Finally, I start to see a few people exiting the building one by one. Some of them are grouped up and chatting among themselves, others leave all on their own. Sup? You're not the person I'm looking for. I don't know who Yuichi's looking for, but me? You're not the person I'm looking for. Yuichi? What are you doing here? Shouldn't you have headed home by now? You do know that the same goes for you, right? Wasn't volleyball team's practice supposed to have ended over an hour ago? We stayed late to have a strategy meeting. Saturday's the first day of the inter-high, remember? We've been staying late for the week. Oh, right. I had completely forgotten about that. Never mind, I can tell by your face that you don't. So sorry, I've had a lot on my mind. It's fine. We're pretty guaranteed to get through on the first day anyway, so I wouldn't worry about it. Besides, you guys can't exactly skip practice to come watch anyway. I'll make sure to be there for Saturday and Sunday though. Huh, that's pretty sweet of you to believe that we'll get through the finals on Sunday. Not as much sweet as a foregone conclusion. You guys always get to the finals. Yeah, well, too bad we don't get further than that. Don't be like that. If you start telling yourself you'll lose, you'll just be making it okay for you to do so. Don't give yourself excuses. I'm not. Shuichi winds his ears flat over his head. It's rare to see him drop his guard like this in public. Stop trying to act cute. You're trying to make me feel guilty, game? I'm not here for Shuichi. I suppose he must be under an insane amount of pressure right now, so I'm not surprised. I tiptoe around the huge husky, blocking my view, looking behind Shuichi to see if I can find a certain white wolf on his way out, but with no luck. Sorry, Shuichi, you're not exactly, as I said before, you're not who I'm looking for. Are you looking for something? No, someone. Me? Kinda, not really, though. What's that supposed to mean? Hey, he made it. Just then I finally see the person I've been looking for. Shuichi, that's your cue to leave. Please don't do anything stupid. Oh, over here, Haruki-kan. Oh no. At an impulse, I waved to catch his attention and call out the wolf's name, completely forgetting for a second that I'd been talking to Shuichi. Haruki freezes where he stands and once he notices me, but that alone isn't too much of a surprise. It's not until I look up and see Shuichi's face that I realize I fucked up. Koizumi? Why are you calling out to him of all people? Because I can. For fuck's sake, seriously. I'm sorry, Shoichi. I was kind of hoping to catch Haruki-kun on his way out. Didn't I tell you to stay away from him? You don't get to tell Yoichi what to do. First of all, fuck off. I'm right here and I can hear you. Second of all, I'm not part of whatever this is. Leave me out of it. The wolf tries to walk past the two of us, but I reach out with a hand in. I grab him by the wrist before he has the chance to do so. Dude, what the fuck? You both stop it. I'm not a kindergarten teacher. I don't have the patience to mediate between you two right now. I quickly shut down whatever argument this is about to turn into, perhaps a bit more gruffly than I ought to. Not that I care. You shouldn't care. I wouldn't care either. I would be sick of this shit as well. Like, if I saw my friends doing this, I'd pull them aside and set them straight. Like, don't be like that. No, I mean, not that these two are friends anyway, but Haruki is my friend. After having enough time to think on what Haruki said to me last week, I came to realize just how much of an asshole I've been to him up until now. Not that he doesn't have a degree of blame in it, but still. If I want to make things right, I can't just keep beating around the bush. But seriously, Shoichi, why do you have to be so aggressive right to the guy's face? Exactly. And I know he's not the easiest person in the world to deal with, but you don't have to fight fire with fire. Besides, you're the one who planted those shitty ideas in my head in the first place. Exactly! Thank you, Yoichi, sorry. I'm also holding you partly responsible for that particular shit show. In fact, I might as well say something now. Exactly! Stop thinking these things and say it to his face. He deserves it. And you too, Shoichi. You told me to avoid him? Who the hell are you to tell me what I should and shouldn't do? But... damn, this was brutal. I take it back. I'm so happy to have been here for this. You... Cut it out. I told you already I don't want to be mediating between you two like squabbling like kids. Whatever, I already won. There's no winning here. Stop being a child. Whatever, can you let go of my arm? That's two whatevers in a row. He just defaults to it when he doesn't have a clever insult to use. Still, I do as he's asked and let go of his arm, watching the wolf rub his wrist where I grabbed him. I'll consider it a win that he asked me to let go of him instead of pulling his arm away. He definitely is strong enough that he could even if he wanted to. Aren't you two supposed to be teammates? You don't have to like each other, but this is kinda ridiculous. That's not my problem. You don't start. But I'm serious. Cut that shit out. Tell him, Yuichi. Fine. I'm heading home. You do whatever you want. What? That's not what I... No! Screw him. Let him go. I don't care about him. If he's gonna act like that, then that's his own little problem he must sort out. Haruki seems happy, though. I try reaching for Shoichi's arm like I'd done with Haruki earlier, but he quickly pushes off my hand, quickly stomping away without as much as a glance back. What the hell was that? Damn, you have a mean streak in you, huh? I do not. Sure you did. Didn't you think you had it in you to say that kind of shit to your boyfriend? He's not my boyfriend. Would you stop that? Whatever you say. Either way, I'm out of here. Hang on a second there, mister. Didn't I say I wanted to talk to you? The wolf once again tries to slip past me, but I quickly react, grabbing his arm and pulling him back before positioning myself in front of him as to block his exit. I feel so creepy having to do this kind of thing, but he's the one who's forcing me to do it. Fucking for real? This again? What the fuck makes you think I like being grabbed all the time? Get your hands off me, fag. Ugh, I'm trying really hard to be your friend here. Do you ever shut up? I wouldn't have to if you keep trying to avoid me. What gives? What gives? Are you seriously asking me that? How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a charity case? I don't need you to be my friend. Buzz off. Who said anything about needing something? I offered. Oh, so it's an offer. Yes. Then I refuse. And I refuse to accept your refusal. For fuck's sake. I feel a little bit of pride welling up in my chest from getting the wolf to sound so thoroughly exasperated. I know I shouldn't. It's probably petty of me and all, but I'll be damned if it doesn't feel good. What kind of offer is there that you don't have the choice to say no? An offer that you can't refuse. Are you a mob boss or something? No way, you got that? Man, Sire would be proud. Listen here, oh shit. I don't need your charity. Leave me alone already. It's because you keep referring to it as not needing to it that I'm sticking around. At no point did you say you don't want it. For fuck's sake, are you a grammar teacher now? Fuck off. I seriously could get used to this. I probably shouldn't though. I'm really starting to embody 6-year-old me all over again. And that's a hell of a lot less cute coming from a grown man. But this has worked with Shoichi, so this is the best card I have to play at the moment. At least until I get to know this asshat a little better and figure out how to get through to him. God damn it, why am I going through all of this trouble for this jerk? I don't even get it myself. Because I think you should. It's not as it's a good sign that I started to casually curse a lot more in my head, more than I used to. I've barely gotten to know this guy and he's already rubbing off on me in a bad way. I can't help it, he reminds me too much of Shoichi when we were kids. I get this unbearable urge to help. Sure I will. Fucking fuck. As soon as you tell me you don't want me to be your friend. God damn it, leave! The wolf pushes past me, bumping my shoulder in the process and nearly sending me tumbling to the floor. By the time I stabilize myself on my feet, I look around and I notice that he's completely disappeared from my view. Seriously? That's all we get from this? I did all those 8 hearts and it feels like not much progress has been made at all. I thought progress was made. I thought we were friends. I thought he'd be a little bit more different towards Yuichi. He really isn't. I mean, besides the fact that he didn't pull his arm away and he's like, just please let me go. Damn, that's kind of frustrating a little bit. But, like, what were those 8 hearts for? Was it just for, I don't know, were they just there? Sheesh, that guy is a really tough cookie. And here I thought we were making good progress. My thoughts exactly! I thought we were making great progress. You guys had a moment there on the roof and everything. It was nice. And this is what comes of it? God damn it. Back to square one, I guess. Bruh. You don't worry too much. You'll get there. Well, who is Dimrot number 2? The sudden unknown voice coming from right behind me makes my skin crawl. The fur on my back of my neck is bristling and standing in tension as I jump away reflexively. Oh, it's him. What was his name? I think it was Kiga or something. I snap around as quickly as I can, searching for the source of the scare that damn near gave me a heart attack, only to see a familiar figure-looking saber cat staring at me with his wide eyes and mouth gaping. Whoa, easy there. You're Haruki's friend. The one that was running lines or whatever in what was supposed to be a locked room after class. Are you okay there? Don't do that to people. Sorry. Who thinks it's appropriate to sneak up on someone like that? What is wrong with you? Then again, I'm talking about the guy who commandeered a room in a school that was flailing around shirtless in a public space. Maybe I shouldn't expect too much of it. Wait, no, stop, Yuichi. First Haruki, and now this. Stop being so damn judgy. At least the game's kind of teaching a lesson. It's fine. What were you saying again? Oh right, just hang in there. Haru is a tough nut to crack, but you'll get there if you stick it out. Thanks? How can you even know that, though? How do you think he and I became friends? You don't mean... I sure do. Haru is stubborn as hell, and doesn't exactly know what's good for him. You gotta wear him down before he lets you in. If you keep sticking around, eventually he'll get tired of pushing you away, and he'll let you stick around. Take it from me, I've done it. Really, if anything, I find it surprising that you and I are so similar. I think we'd make good friends too. Oh right, annoyed him into submission. I forgot that Haruki I forgot I heard Haruki say that. I thought he was exaggerating about it, but now I'm not so sure. The fact that both the Saber Cat and I played the exact same card is concerning. Maybe I need to reconsider my approach. I'm not too sure I want to be so similar to the weirdo that breaks into a classroom to talk to himself half naked. Man, not being judgy is so hard. I appreciate the encouragement. No problem. I'm happy to see Haru is making more friends, so I'll help in any way I can. Well, I suppose that is pretty nice of him. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the guy. Wait, hang on, how long have you been here? What do you mean? I mean, how much of it did you hear? Most of it? I was running around to talk to Haro too. You were so absorbed with your phone that you didn't even notice that I waved at you. For real? Wait, that means you saw the thing with you and Haru and the press? Yeah, I wasn't gonna comment on that. Oh god, please no. The last thing I need is people close to Shoichi saying that. Delete. Give me a way to delete this from your memory right now. Alt F4 that bitch. Please, forget you saw anything. That's a tough ask. I don't care how tough it is, forget it, I beg of you. Still, you were kinda screwed either way. There is some serious bad blood between those two, and I don't even care why. Oh, really? I thought the idea since you knew both of them, so maybe you might have some idea what it's about. Nah, I don't have a clue. I'm sure at some point the press was trying to be good about it, but the two of them fight almost every time they meet. Well, Haruki seems to have really had it out for Shoichi, so I'm not surprised. Shoichi's patient, but there's only so much you can poke him before he snaps. Except Haru isn't the one doing the poking. What? Wait, he's not always the one instigating? Oh, do we have some kind of reveal here? What's going on? What do you mean? I mean, it's surprising to find out that such a big, mature-looking man can act like such a child sometimes. I suppose that's why we have the term man-child. Fair enough, Keegan. That brain of yours really has some fine logic. I had Haru come over a couple of times when I dropped some documents at the student council, or had him meet up with me while I was on my way out. Every time him and the press meet up, they fight, and half the time, it's always the press needling him for no good reason. It was Shoichi. You're still here? Wow, I'm shocked a guy like you who would choose to stay in school for even a second longer than he has to. That's... Or, what are you even doing here, Koizumi? This is the student council room, you know, for responsible people. That's not... Maybe even better when the time when he said to me, what do you keep hanging out with that guy? Aren't you scared? What if the people he deals with do something to you? As if Haru is some kind of rabid dog or something. Holy shit, Shoichi, really? I know you don't have the best opinion of the guy, but come on, those are downright mean things to say. I've always known Shoichi to be a passive-aggressive a little bit, but mostly I see it when he and Keisuke are bickering, but not like this. He actually said those things? Mostly, I can't quite remember the verbatim, but it's the gist of it. I don't know what it is between the two of them, but I do my best to act as a buffer when the two of them come together. If anything, what you saw today was a milder version of what I had to go through every time. That's disturbing. Well, it's because you were there to tell Shoichi to cut that shit out, and he'll listen to you. Even putting aside the fact that those two are teammates and should therefore be able to get along better than this, there is really no justification for treating someone like that. I know Shoichi had the wrong opinion about Haruki, but I didn't know it was this bad. He seems fully convinced that Haruki is involved in something a lot more dangerous than he actually is. First things first, I should prioritize setting Shoichi straight. Yeah, what you said to him today, do that again, but like 1,000 times worse. If I want to make Haruki my friend, I can't have him and Shoichi swinging at each other every time they meet. I see. Thanks for telling me that. I have a lot to consider now, I suppose. I hope this hasn't made you change your mind about Haru. He really is a great guy once you get to know him. Nah, my mind was already set on that. I'm just reconsidering my approach. Great! I can try to help you out if you want. You know, put in a good word for you with him and whatnot. I don't think that would work terribly well. Nah, don't be like that. Haru seems pretty fond of you based on how the 2 or 3 times we talked about you. He does? Yeah, he called you a fucking headache and said you almost make him want to slug you in the face. Great, I feel like he likes me so much. What the fuck? In what world does that make him seem fond of me? He could use a lot more colorful language, you know. Besides, he said you almost make him want to hit you. Almost 99% of people don't get that distinction. Can't you see how much progress you've made? No, not really. I do not, alright? Really, do we really have lower standards this far? It's sad that you... It's sad that you'd be excited over so little. This really is quite telling. I can't decide whether it's about Haruki or you. I see. Well, I'm heading home for now. I'll try again with Haruki later. Even if I don't manage to talk to him tomorrow, I'll bump into him at the tournament on Saturday anyway. I wouldn't be so sure about that. How so? Isn't the whole team supposed to be there? Yeah, well, it's not like Haru gets to play. He's pretty bitter about being sidelined, so he hasn't been wanting to show up. Sure, I've been trying to get through to him, but I'm not sure that he'll show up without someone to drag him there. And I'm sadly going to be busy, so I can't show up for any of the competition. So he's not gonna play? Does that mean he's just not good? I mean, does he even have a right to be upset about it if he's not good enough to make up his starting 6? That sounds kinda entitled. Just because he didn't make the cut in the game doesn't mean he gets to sulk and bitch because of it. I think you're misunderstanding something. What? It's not that Haru didn't make the cut. He's one of the best players in the team. He's not allowed to play because he keeps butting head with the press and coach. What? Who told you that? Both of them did. What? Well, that's different. I would feel really bitter if I were excelling but still didn't get to play of games because of my attitude. Granted, his stinks and I really would work on it, but still. That's messed up. Yeah, well, I'm sure it must sting even worse for Haru since the school went out of its way to recruit him in the first place. They did? Seems like Haru was famous back in middle school for getting in fights and somewhat often and being feared by his teammates. But he was tall and strong and he carried his team all the way back to the finals of Saitama, qualifiers at the national competition back during the last year of middle school. Apparently both the school and the coach went out of their way to scout him without even knowing, only to turn out they would not let him play. So yeah, I get why he's upset about it. Feels scummy, don't you think? Like, I don't want you, but I don't want anyone else to have you either. But I don't know, that's just my outsider's perspective as a non-sporty person. That's... holy shit. Sounds like the guy had a reign of terror even all the way back in middle school. Seriously, even as a child, you've had that nasty attitude for that long. It's no wonder people are afraid of you. You really should consider your own responsibility in this stuff, Haruki. Either way, I'll try my best to convince him to show up for it. If he does, I'll trust you to take it from there. Sure. Okay, I have to run now if I want to catch up with him now. How are you even gonna find him? Oh, it shouldn't be too hard. He tends to go to his favorite place whenever he's upset, so I'll check there first. I'm pretty sure I'll find him there. His favorite place? Oops, I might have said too much. I'll leave it up to Haru whether he wants to tell you about it eventually. I'll catch you later, Yuichi-senpai. Maybe it's probably the roof. I'm far too confused to even say anything as I watch the Saber Cat walk away. A favorite place? What does that even mean? Like an abandoned factory ground or something? Yeah, you should stop that, I was literally gonna say. What the hell am I even supposed to do now? Not only did I make zero progress with Haruki today, but now I found another roadblock in the middle of the situation. Today has not been a very productive day. Oh, on the contrary, you told Shoichi to shut the fuck up. I'd say that was very productive. Saturday. Isn't this the tournament that they took part in Shoichi's path? I remember this. Well, I think I'll leave the episode here. So, I'm a little bit frustrated because I thought we were making great progress with Haruki, but it turns out we made very little progress, and Yuichi and Haruki had such a nice moment on the rooftop, and then the day off, and then what happens after is like, I don't know, it's just very disappointing to see that they're pretty much still the same. Apart from when Yuichi pulled his arm and then he said, just let go please, instead of actually pulling it away. And like he almost wants to slug me in the face, that's just, no. I mean, I get that it will take time to get through to someone like Haruki, but like, that's frustrating. I thought progress would be made during the process of those 8 hearts, but not much, apparently, by the looks of it. But anyway, I'm not here to criticize. I like this route so far. I like Haruki a lot. So I'm here to see this through to the end. If you like the video, there's a like button down there just waiting to be pressed. And if you find yourself coming back for more content from me, just consider subscribing. It really helps keep me motivated if I see likes, subscriptions, and views. And if you want anything else from me, do not hesitate to recommend in the comments what you would like to see from me, and I'll consider giving it a shot. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it. And as always, I'll see you friendos later. Bye bye!